Hey Bobcat Nation, Al Weston here once again for another Bobcat Coach's Corner. Got the basketball coach with us here, Terry Sellers. Thanks for being with us, Terry.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate you taking time out. I know you're a little bit under the weather, so we'll try and limit the amount of talking for you, I guess, today. Take it easy on you.
That sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, it's been a while since we talked, and of course, this is our first one of this season. You're 6-5 right now, 2-2 in the conference. Some ups and downs. Can't really get a good run going. What's working well for the team this year?
Well, the effort's been good all year long, and we just been very inconsistent, like you mentioned. We just have not been able to sustain any consistency on the offensive end and on the defensive end, either one, and put a good 40-minute game together. Of course, last Thursday we had a really good effort against Pembroke, a very good team, and then we went to North Georgia and just against a very good team, and just didn't play well, and they really took it to us. And of course, in both those games, we got really hurt on the rebounding in the rebounding department, and that's probably the first two games I can remember in my time here that we've given up 36 offensive rebounds in 2 ball games. So that's definitely jumps out at us as coaches and our team, something we got to really do a better job with.
Well, you talk about consistency. One fellow that's been pretty consistent for you, Scott Ferguson, is senior forward and out of Roswell. Now, Scott, last year was his first year with the squad. Got a couple of starts, a couple of good ball games, a couple of double-doubles in there, and then as the season went on and Ryan Aquino kind of took over the post position there for you, his involvement kind of dwindled a bit. But this year he's really been a leader for you, hasn't he, Coach?
He really has, and I said going into the year that, for us to be a good team, Scott needed to have an all-conference caliber season, and he's having one. I couldn't be more pleased with Scott, and we really count on him as we continue to Peach Belt play, and he's really stepped up. He's stepped up. We lost our 3 leading scorers and 3 leading rebounders, and Scott has really stepped his game up and is doing a really good job for us.
Yeah, Scott, again, he plays that type of role similar to what Aquino did for you last year, a tall guy with lots of length and can play both inside and outside. But it seems as though when you need a bucket, the ball is going to end up in his hands more often than not. Is that correct?
We need, no question about it. He's our go-to guy. He's the guy that we really look to and to provide that scoring, and he can make 3-point shots, and he can go inside, and he's really good at attacking bigger players because he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's pretty good off the dribble, and we just need Scott to continue to do what he's been doing, and then some other guys to step up their game, and we'll be okay.
The 3-point basket seems to be important for you once again this season, and it seems if we can get them to fall at a better rate, we've got a better shot at winning. I guess 3 is more than 2, right, Coach?
That's right, and we've got some good shooters, and of course other teams know that, and some teams do, I guess, a better job than others are really getting, Quinn Bivens and Nate Hamilton, those guys that really are outstanding 3-point shooters, as Ryan Lively, and of course we got Alex Reed coming off the bench that can knock down the 3. We just haven't been very consistent. I think part of that's been some games of defense. They're getting a little bit closer to us and really defending the 3 better. And we've had some games where we have not shot the ball well, and we need those guys to make shots.
Now, it seems like the bench play has been important for you so far this year, too. I think in each of our 6 wins, you've had a guy off the bench get double-digit points for you. I know in the past you've liked to bring in that second wave and have a scorer coming off the bench. I know Sean Keaton in his first couple years with us was coming off the pine. Graham Martin was also a good scorer for us off the bench for a good time before you needed him as a starter as a senior and later in his junior year. Is that a role you like to have, that extra oomph coming off the bench when maybe the legs are getting a little bit tired for the defense?
No question about it. That's a huge to have that guy. It's nice to have more than one, but have a couple guys that can come in and give you that offensive, give you some scoring, or bring that kind of energy off the bench, and that's been huge for us. And if we're going to be successful, we've got to have some guys that can come off the bench and do a good job for us.
You mentioned consistency being an issue. How do you solidify and iron out something like that? Does it rely a lot on the rebounding? You also talked about that. What areas do you need to make sure that where does the consistency come from, Coach?
That's a great question. We're trying to figure that out now. Every team's different, and it's just a matter of, we've changed our starting lineup 2 or 3 times this year, and it's a matter of finding that group that is good as far as getting the game started and doing the things we need to do at the beginning of the game, having the game plan down, and then just working on all phases. It seems like it's not just one area. It's not just a rebounding. We have really good shooting nights, and other nights our shot selection is not what it needs to be. We need to be more patient. Some nights we've turned the ball over more than we normally do on some occasions, and then we'll come back and have a good game. But it seems like the rebounding part has probably been the number one thing that we've got to really address, and because I think our initial defense has not been too bad, but when you give other team 2 or 3 extra shots at it, it goes down quite a bit. So just all areas, it just seems like we haven't really played a complete game. Even in the win against Pembroke last week, we gave up 19 offensive rebounds, and usually you don't come away with a win when that happens. So we're still working. It's definitely a work in progress, and we just got to keep working every day in practice to try to shore up several areas and try to become a more consistent team.
Big ball game coming up Thursday. We got Flagler College coming in the Centennial Center. Going to be a 7:30 p.m. tip-off somewhere around there for the guys, 5:30 for the women. I want to make sure you get out there to the Centennial Center and check out the Bobcats. Now, Flagler, a little bit of a down season for them. I know they're, I think, 4-7 overall. Haven't got a conference win yet, but this is a tough conference to play in. So necessarily not a bad team. They're going to come in here and they're going to compete at a high level.
Oh, no question about it. This is the best Flagler team that we will play. Okay. Of course, North Georgia just, they really had us down 20. They really, put a whipping on us on Saturday. Flagler took them to overtime at Flagler. They played Young Harris really tough. This is the best Flagler team that we've seen. So we've definitely got our work cut out for us, and we got our own issues that we've got to address. So they'll be ready for us, and they'll do a good job and give us all we want, more than we want. So we've got to be ready for them.
In years past, they've been kind of powered by their guard play. I know they had a fellow that was leading all of Division II in assists not too long ago. But it looks like their focus has kind of moved a little bit more inside, got a big 6'8" forward, which unfortunately kind of plays into that weakness of the rebounding and not that physical presence inside. Is to become a team schematic to try and balance that out?
Yeah, we've got to. They've got a guy inside that's having Aquino type numbers this year, 18 points, 10 boards, averaging a double-double, and he's really doing a good job for them. So that's going to be a focus, for our team. And defensively, we've got to double team him. We've got to try to keep the ball away from him, and then when he gets it, we got to make sure we got 2 guys down there because he could really hurt us. And then the coach's son, Matt Clark, is really a good shooter, and he's a good, heady, smart player, and so. Those 2 guys are 2 keys to their team, and they got a pretty good balanced team. Like I said, I think it's the best team. Although 3 or 4 years ago they were good, I think this is probably the most balanced team that they've had.
All right, well, check out the Saints and the Bobcats as they take them on Thursday night. Again, 7:30 p.m. start. If you can't get to that game, make sure you check out the broadcast at country102fm.com and on Country 102 FM here in town as well. So we'll see you Thursday night at the ball game. For Coach Sellers, Al Weston for the Bobcat Coach's Corner.